Lucy was not special. She was not strong, rich, or important. She was just a young woman living a simple life, trying to survive like everyone else. She studied, laughed, trusted people easily, and believed the world was mostly safe. Lucy was kind, emotional, and human. She felt fear, love, pain, and hope. Like most people, she never thought her life would suddenly change in a single day. But destiny does not ask for permission. One wrong decision pushed Lucy into a dark world she never knew existed. She trusted the wrong person and walked into a trap that was carefully planned. Criminals used her as a delivery tool, not as a person. In their eyes, Lucy was just a body, just a container. At that moment, her life lost all value to them. Fear filled her mind and pain took over her body. She was helpless, scared, and alone. This was the last moment Lucy lived as a normal human being. Inside her body was a new and powerful drug, something never tested on humans before. It was meant to be delivered, not released. But fate had other plans. When the drug bag broke inside her, something impossible began to happen. Instead of killing her, the drug unlocked parts of her brain that humans never use. Pain became the trigger. Suffering became the key. With every heartbeat, Lucy was changing. At first, the change felt confusing. Her senses became sharper. She could hear sounds from far away. She could feel everything around her. Fear slowly disappeared, replaced by calm. Her mind started working faster than ever before. She remembered everything. She understood things without learning them. Her brain power crossed 10%, then 20%, then more. The human limits were breaking. Lucy was still human on the outside, but inside she was becoming something else. Emotions began to fade. Pain no longer controlled her. The world slowed down, while her mind raced ahead. She was no longer reacting to life. She was controlling it. This was not a gift she asked for. This was not power she wanted. But once unlocked, it could not be stopped. This was only the beginning. Lucy had taken the first step beyond humanity. And from here on, nothing in the world would ever be the same. Lucy's brain power kept increasing, minute by minute. She no longer needed effort to think. Thoughts came instantly. Decisions happened before questions were even formed. Her body moved with perfect timing, and her mind stayed calm in every situation. Fear was gone. Panic was gone. Only focus remained. Lucy was awake in a way no human had ever been before. When the criminals tried to control her again, they failed. Lucy did not fight with anger. She fought with precision. With a single look, she could stop people from moving. With a small movement of her hand, objects flew across the room. Guns, walls, and strong men meant nothing to her now. She did not scream. She did not rush. She simply decided what would happen next. And reality obeyed. As her brain crossed higher levels, Lucy unlocked abilities that felt unreal. She could control gravity. She could feel electricity flowing through machines. She could read minds without asking. Time itself started behaving differently around her. Everything slowed down, like the world was waiting for her commands. Lucy was not learning these powers. She was remembering them, as if this knowledge always existed inside her. But with every increase in power, something important was fading away. Her emotions were disappearing. Love, fear, sadness, and joy no longer had meaning. Human connections felt distant, almost useless. People became data. Life became information. Lucy understood everything, but she felt nothing. The price of unlimited power was the loss of humanity. Lucy searched for answers, not out of fear, but curiosity. She wanted to understand what she was becoming. That search led her to science, to Professor Norman, a man who had studied the human brain for years. He explained that humans only use a small part of their brain, and when that limit breaks, evolution accelerates. Lucy was no longer just a person. She was proof of what comes next. As governments and criminals tried to stop her, They failed again and again. No weapon could touch her. No plan could trap her. Lucy was always one step ahead, not because she predicted the future, but because she understood cause and effect perfectly. To her, the world was a simple system, and she had full control. Lucy was no longer part of the human race. She was moving beyond it. Power was no longer something she used. Power was something she was. And as her transformation continued, one terrifying truth became clear. No human force could ever control her again. Lucy's brain power reached levels no scientist had ever imagined. She no longer experienced time in a straight line. Past, present, and future felt connected, like pages of the same book open at once. She could see events before they happened and understand why they happened after. Life was no longer a mystery. It was a pattern, and Lucy could read it perfectly. Her body was still there, but it was becoming less important. Hunger, pain, sleep, and fear had no meaning anymore. She could heal herself instantly. She could change her body at a molecular level. Bullets stopped before touching her skin. Explosions felt like weak waves of air. Human weapons were designed for human limits, and Lucy had already crossed far beyond them. As her power grew, the world reacted with fear. Governments called her a threat. Scientists called her a miracle. Criminals saw her as death itself. But Lucy did not see enemies or allies anymore. She saw systems. To her, armies were just moving shapes. Cities were just structures of matter. Humans were no longer individuals. They were collections of information, energy, and time. This was the most dangerous part of her transformation. Lucy was not evil. She was not cruel. She simply no longer cared in the way humans do. Emotions require limits, and Lucy had none. Love became memory. Pain became data. Fear became unnecessary. Humanity, once her greatest strength, slowly disappeared. Professor Norman tried to remind her of what she was losing. He spoke about life, meaning, and human connection. Lucy listened, but not with emotion. She listened with understanding. She knew humans needed feelings to survive. She knew limits gave life value. But she had already moved beyond that stage of existence. You cannot return to sleep once your mind is fully awake. As her brain reached its final stage, Lucy realized a shocking truth. Her physical form was temporary. The body was never meant to hold this much power. Matter could not contain infinite knowledge. She was no longer evolving as a human. She was evolving as something new, something closer to pure intelligence. Lucy's presence alone began to change reality. Technology reacted to her. Space bent around her. Time obeyed her will. She was no longer inside the universe. She was becoming part of its structure. At that moment, it became clear that no prison, no weapon, and no rule could ever control her. Lucy had reached a point where power was not a choice. It was her nature. And the final step of her journey was about to begin. The step where she would leave humanity behind forever. Lucy's brain reached 100%. At that moment, there was no struggle, no fear, and no pain. There was only clarity. She understood the origin of life, the flow of time, and the rules that hold the universe together. Everything that humans spend their lives trying to learn became clear to her in a single instant. Knowledge was no longer something outside her. Knowledge was her. Her body could no longer hold this level of power. Slowly, it lost meaning. Flesh and bones were limits, and Lucy had no limits left. She transformed beyond physical form, turning into pure energy and intelligence. She was no longer bound by space or time. She existed everywhere and nowhere at once. Lucy had become part of the universe itself. Before fully leaving the human world, Lucy made one final choice. She did not destroy humanity. She did not rule it. Instead, she shared knowledge. She gave humans a small piece of understanding, enough to help them grow, but not enough to break them. Lucy knew that unlimited power without wisdom leads to chaos. Humans still needed limits to remain human. Her final message was simple but powerful. Life is meaningful because it is limited. Time matters because it ends. Love matters because it can be lost. Lucy understood that humans are not weak because they are limited. They are special because of those limits. Power without emotion is empty. Knowledge without purpose is meaningless. Lucy did not become a god. She became a reminder that evolution comes with a price, a reminder that control is not the same as happiness, and a reminder that some power is too great for the human heart to carry. The story of Lucy is not about becoming unstoppable. It is about understanding what makes us human. And in the end, the greatest power is not controlling the universe. It is knowing when to let go.